I think I'll let him introduce himself. Come on out, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Dave. How are you doing today?
Excellent. Thanks for being here.
Glad I could be here myself.
Well, let's jump right into it. Why don't you tell the audience what you're here to talk about?
Well, my name is Dylan Shields, and I am the world's leading environmental chemist, and I'm here to tell you about freshwater acidification effects.
Freshwater acidification, you say? What is freshwater acidification?
Freshwater acidification is the process of acidifying water, freshwater systems, and these are systems like lakes, rivers, streams, and the acidification of freshwater is usually caused by like the pollution by nearby population areas such as cities.
So, what would you say, like the Ohio River is pretty acidified?
Oh, I would say the Ohio River is probably more than acidified.
Does that have anything to do with how mucky it looks?
Not too much.
No, that's just something else.
Yeah, that would just be the dirt content.
Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about anyways. So, freshwater acidification happens to rivers, streams, lakes around us. Why is it a problem?
Well, when these systems become acidified, the wildlife will suffer, and this can result in things such as large fish kills. I'm sure you've maybe heard about those.
Large fish kills, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's a little bit about acid rain. What are the causes of it, though?
The first major cause of acidification is that through the pollution of sulfur compounds. See, sulfur compounds are polluted through such major processes such as like fossil fuel combustion, the mining and smelting of sulfide-containing metals, and the reason that that sulfur pollution is such a problem is because when sulfur compounds are introduced into the environment, they are converted to sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid is a very strong acid, and therefore will lead to the acidification of these fresh waters and dead fish.
Sulfur compounds. They do some pretty nasty things, right? Are there any other causes other than this sulfuric combustion thing we got going on here?
Sulfuric acid.
Acid.
Okay. Unfortunately, the second type of pollutant is just as strong, if not stronger than the sulfur compounds. These are, of course, nitrogen compounds. See, nitrogen compounds are released, also released in fossil fuel combustion, but the main cause of nitrogen pollution is through the use of artificial fertilizers. These artificial fertilizers use a compound known as ammonium, which is a nitrogen-based compound, and when this ammonium is released into the environment, it is converted through nature into nitric acid, which is another strong acid, just like sulfuric acid. So when nitric acid enters the environment, it can cause the acidification in much the same way as sulfuric acid.
I hate to ask, were there any other causes?
Yeah, the last one I wanted to talk about today is acidification through aluminum compound. Well, Dave, fortunately, the last type of pollutant isn't nearly as strong as sulfuric or nitric acid, but it is an acid nonetheless, and that, of course, is aluminum. See, aluminum isn't a normal acid in the typical sense, but is what chemists call a Lewis acid. See, this Lewis acid can react with things in the water and cause acidification that way. These aluminum compounds, see, they're polluted into the environment through just typical industrial processes, but really, like, the main source of pollution is just through soda can and beer can litter.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. Really appreciate you having me.
I really appreciate you having me as well, Dave.
Yeah, I know you had to travel pretty far to get here, so I and the viewers, thank you humbly.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for now. Tune in next week where we have Amu Jabad. He's here to talk about some declassified information. Take it easy.